Hello Internet and welcome to my BMW restoration series. We have finally completed the teardown of the car and the car is here. It's in primer and just waiting for some later stage to be worked on, and the focus now is the frame and suspension and stuff like that, and the frame is now freshly painted. And we have a lot of parts that needs to be cleaned and degreased and rust removal and all that fun stuff. We are basically in the cleaning phase of the restoration, and I have a few tips and tricks on how to remove rust that I will show you. So let's just jump right into it. Here are some examples on the finish after I have used Ferrowet. So these parts have just gotten, well, first a really quick grind with a wire brush on the angle grinder, and after that I just spray them in Ferrowet like this, and it looks kind of get this white yellowish color, and it transforms a lot of the rust into magnetite and also makes it easier to remove. So now I'm just going to take this spring and separate it from just splitting these here and here, and then I will just separate it into every component and then start the fun process of just cleaning every single plate here. So there we have it. The spring is splitted, and as you can see there is quite a few pieces, and they are really nasty in here. So yeah, I'm just going to get started and grind them down, and then take a new dose of Ferrowet and probably throw it in the galvanic bath I have to remove the last rust, and then we put on some primer and paint. So right here I have the electrolyte cell, and right now I have put the leaf springs inside here, and they have been here for quite some time after I took the wire brush on it. And I'm using this car charger right now. It's usually around 1 to 3 amps, so it's not a lot. I'm just gonna disconnect it right now so I can take my hand in the water here. And as you can see, the water is really rusty and dirty right now, because I've been using this quite a lot on different parts in here, and I think I will show you some cool trick you can use on this and how simple it is to use after I have cleaned it a little bit. But anyway, here we have the leaf springs. Maybe I'll take it in some better lighting so you can see it better. So here it is. Hopefully you can see it a little bit clearer. You can see how shiny it is after being in that electrolyte cell. It's just a chemical controlled reaction, and it removes basically all the rust and makes this kind of dark material here, which is the magnetite, and that's a stable form of rust. So as you can see, all the rust is gone, and I just really quickly and roughly grind over all the parts by hand with this, and I take some water on them just to get all the residue away. And right now all I need to do is just to clean them or dry them up before they get flash rust. And then I'm going to put some Brunox on. So I'm going to start doing that right away, and after that I will show you how you can set up a galvanic cell like that and how you can upgrade it in some ways. So this is the bath I'm using for my electric cell, and or electrolyte cell, which is, I think it's the correct name. And this is the anode. So this is where the positive is hooked up to, and you can see how much rust buildup there is. Actually, it's very often it's a lot more. It's not so long ago since I cleaned them. But this bath has been used for several parts now, and I will clean these two, which are the anodes, and we can see how much rust which is in this water. So here is a lot of the rust that I have been removing on the car with this method, and I actually found this locking ring here, which I'm pretty sure is for the front suspension or the front hub. But you can see all this, basically most of this has been surface rust, so well, it's more than a few hands of rust here, so it's a really effective way to passively remove rust without actually doing anything yourself. So I'll definitely recommend this method, and I will show you how you can boost it a lot in not so long. I'm just gonna clean these two. And they were a little bit more used than I thought. Actually, I have been using quite a lot of this anode right here. This one is a little bit better, but I think I will just continue use them for now till it's even more eaten away. So I'm just gonna fill this up with water, put some soda in it, put these back, and then I'm gonna show you how to connect everything to make this work. And you also want to add something to the water that will help conduct the electricity. So I'm just going to add it now, so it will get mixed a little bit better when I'm filling it up. I'm probably going to use a bit more than this. So there we have filled up the water, and we have put in some of this crystal soda, so we will have some conductivity in the water. And usually I would just hook up this plus here to this one, and I will take the negative one to some part and dip it in the water. But this is just for the small car charger, and it will take days to remove rust. So right now I will just use this one, which is rather clean. I've already brushed it and took it through some ferrobet solution, but I can see there are some rust pores, and I'll try to just remove those really fast. So I will put it in here, and I will take this little thing, hook it up, which you may recognize, and then we will take this one, and we have to make sure it's not touching the water. So now we have our negative here and our positive here, and I have this welding machine right here, and I just turn this on and crank up the amps to, I think, about 30-40 amps are good, so you don't stress it too much. And if you look at it right now, you can see already the reaction has happened, and it's happening much faster if you're than if you were to use a car charger like this one, which are just like 1 amp. So by doing this, we will really boost the process, and also the larger surface area you have on this piece, you will also get a much faster reaction. So I'll just let this sit for a few minutes, and then we'll prep it for paint. So it's been about 40 minutes, and I'm now going to just check the part. It should be more than clean enough now. You can see there has been quite a lot of chemistry going on here. So I'm just going to obviously turn off the welding machine, so I won't get electrocuted in here. And then I'm just going to fish this up, and you can see that it's even more shiny than when I put it in, and it's there's no rust spots. But I will just dry it off, and I will brush it with the brush by hand, and then probably going to get some surface rust. They always do when they have been in water like this, but then I'm just going to wipe that off, and then we're going to put some primer on it as well, or Brunox. So the surface rust always appears after it's been in the water, as I mentioned, and you can see the finish on this one now. It's kind of matte because I took it in the sandblaster just to clean the surface rust or flash rust really fast off. And if you look at the pores, this is kind of what I'm talking about, that chemistry is doing. There isn't any rust here. It looks kind of dark, but that's just the conversion which the rust has gone through, and the black pores here is magnetite. So that's a good thing, that all the rust is basically now gone and converted even far down into the metal. So all these parts which are here are now clean for rust, and I will just degrease them with this, just a degreaser, and then I will put on some Brunox, which will work as a primer, but also if there was any other small rust parts anywhere, it will also convert that to also magnetite the same stuff here. So that way you will be 100% sure that all the rust and all the roots are gone, and you have a very clean metal part that will not start to rust in the future. So here I am applying the Brunox with a brush, and after this I will use a 2K component epoxy primer, and after that I will use a 2K component Trek paint, which is black, to give it a nice smooth finish. Now this is the process I do to every single part on the car, so I know that it will last for a long time and never rust. In my opinion, if you have done a restoration and it started rusting in 10 years, you haven't really done a proper restoration. So if you like this episode, please feel free to check out my channel to see more content of this restoration series. And of course, you know where to find the like and subscribe button, just down below. I'll see you guys soon in the next episode, but until then, you guys stay home and you stay safe.